Spendthrift Farm stallions. First 2-year-olds on the track by Golden Sense, Cross Traffic, It's My Lucky Day, Can the Man, and Shaking It Up, including Golden Sense's stakes winner Picket, a dominant 9-length winner in the $75,000 DS Shine Young Futurity at Evangeline. Spendthrift, the Breeders' Farm.
Hi everybody, Dan Illman along with Nicole Russo. Welcome to Spa Babies, presented by Spendthrift Farm, the home of the exciting first crop stallion Cross Traffic. Had 2 stakes winners last week alone. Let's take a look at the field for Thursday's Spa Baby race. We're going to finish off the day, finish off the pick 6, $75,000 state-bred maiden special weight for 2-year-old fillies. It's the 2nd division. 5:56 is post time, and it really seems like an interesting field. We'll take it in post position order, beginning with one of the experienced horses in the race. This is the number 1, Andarta. And Andarta goes out for Tommy Albertrani, a trainer that doesn't win first time out very often. So we could certainly make the case that Andarta will improve with the experience under her girth.
Yeah, definitely. I think maybe draw a line through that first start. She confuses me a little bit, to be honest. Being by declaration of war, I'd peg this one as being, a slightly longer distance turf specialist, but then she went out and set the pace in her turf sprint debut and weakened late, which doesn't really add to that theory. So perhaps she just ran off a little and needed that experience, and she'll be a little bit more tractable in her second start here.
And we'll take a look at the pedigree card for Andarta. She is a half-sister to a turf winner, strong European female family, and she did show some good speed in her debut, so I would expect her to be forwardly placed once again. The number 2 is Espresso Shot. This is a first-time starter by Mission Impassable, who does really well with his 2-year-old first-time starters. You see 17% winners. Not as great with his first turf runners, but it's still early, and it is worth noting that Espresso Shot is a full sister to Hakalea, a turf sprint winner. I think this is an interesting first-time starter for an underrated trainer.
Yeah, definitely an underrated barn with this type of horse. And she does have some very strong works, which you would expect the Mission Impossibles to be precocious out of, you mentioned that full sibling. I do think Medaglia d'Oro is going to continue to develop his broodmare sire. He had so many outstanding daughters, so I think a lot of things to like here.
This horse worked in company on August the 6th on the turf with a horse named Perfect Pitch for this barn. That horse is going to make the debut on Wednesday, so you'll be able to see how Perfect Pitch does. If Perfect Pitch does well, you might want to upgrade your opinion of Espresso Shot. The number 3 is Trumpet. This is a daughter of Super Saver, a $60,000 yearling, and there's a lot of precocity in this family. The Damas throw debut winners Sky Music and Brigand, but when I think Super Saver, I don't exactly think turf.
Yeah, very much so. I have the same impression of him for sure. There's a lot of dirt in the female family as well, along with that precocity. And in addition, this one really hasn't sparkled on the work tab, so not sure what to make of this one.
The number 4 is Plink Freud, and I would have to think that Plink Freud is going to take a good amount of money, even though her trainer Tom Bush is just a little bit underrated and low profile. Not only is Plink Freud by perennial New York turf stallion, leading turf stallion Freud, but just look at these full siblings. Young Man Scott, Deciphering Dreams, Amazing Anne, all earned black type. The first 2 earning black type in graded races as 2-year-olds. Plink Freud is bred.
Yeah, definitely. But they did do some of their better work going a little bit longer. The Freuds, I think they do want to go a little bit longer. And Plink Freud, many of her works on the work tab are at 3 furlongs, except for the most recent one. I'd like to see debut starters with some 4 furlong works under their belt at least, more of a steady tab there. So I'm wondering if this one is just kind of here for the experience and if she's not fully cranked down yet.
The 5 has entered main track only. We'll move on to the number 6, Doc's Way. This one is by Tiz Way, who is doing some really nice work with his first turf runners and all turf runners overall. 15% winners with first turf runners. And this dam has already thrown a classy stakes-winning turf rider named Selenite. The dam won twice on the turf. And these connections are shipping all the way up from Penn National. This trainer best known for conditioning that really hardy, good dirt sprinter, Fabulous Strike.
Yeah, and some of the horses shipping up from Pennsylvania this meet have done well. This one getting Ortiz on debut. And Tisway, he had, that good miler speed that really seems to be translating well to horses on turf. They run the turns well. They have good little bursts of speed. So he's really developed into an interesting turf-type sire.
The number 7, Mike's Girl, finished 4th in the career debut earlier this meet, narrowly finishing ahead of the number 1, Andarta. The winner of that race, Drina Chan, runs back on Wednesday in the Bolton Landing Stakes, so you can take a look and see how Drina Chan does before completing your analysis of both Andarta and Mike's Girl. Mike's Girl, the dam was a 2-year-old debut winner. She won on turf. She won the second dam, by the way. The dam won 6 dirt sprints. Mike's Girl is very, very logical. I thought she ran okay in her debut, showing some tactical speed. I wouldn't want to get too excited, though, at a short price.
Yeah, kind of a lukewarm, short-priced horse here, because I do think this is an evenly matched field. She was an okay 4th in that debut. We talk all the time about how the experience counts. I think if you like her, certainly you have to like Andarta a little bit, and you have to watch Drina Chan to evaluate both of them. This is the last crop, by the way, for of 2-year-olds for the versatile stallion Scat Daddy, who, of course, does so well with his turf horses and turf sprinters.
Number 8 is Lady Day. This is a daughter of the very fast sprinter Tuffelsberg from the family of stakes-winning turf sprinter My Friend Will. Again, low-profile connections, some slow half-mile breezes on display.
Yeah, and Teufelsberg really hasn't, I really expected him to be a great ad for the New York program, but he hasn't, and he doesn't have that many state-sired foals yet, but he really hasn't produced anything much of note beyond his champion son Trinaberg, and I really think of these more as dirt horses than turf horses.
The number 9 is Alpha Betting. This is from the first crop of Alpha. Let's talk a little bit about Alpha. I thought he wanted to go 2 miles.
Definitely. I definitely do think his progeny will want to go longer, but he was an okay 2-year-old and by a good 2-year-old himself, so perhaps they'll be able to run early. And Alpha, of course, did a lot of his work, did all of his work actually on dirt, did well on sloppy tracks. Maybe that'll translate to a little bit of turf ability, crossover ability, as we've seen with stallions like Orb in recent years. And Alpha, actually a homebred for Godolphin, there was a lot of turf in his female family, so perhaps he will be able to pass that on and sire a turf runner. This is kind of an interesting spot. I do think they'll want to go longer, but I think it's too early to write him off as a turf sire.
Joel Rosario takes them out, and the dam was precocious enough, placed 4 times as a 2-year-old, and she has already produced a first turf and debut winner named Lila Ruth. The number 10 is Mineshaft Blues, co-owned by former Daily Racing Form publisher Stephen Christ. This filly, on just the face of it, looks to be bred to go longer. She's a half to Bonita Springs, a 2-time turf route winner. She is by Mineshaft, whose progeny usually improve with distance and with experience. But I think this might just be the right spot for a first-time starter. Why not Mineshaft Blues?
Yeah, perhaps. We've said several times now what an evenly matched field it is. A lot of them don't have the experience yet, so why not? Mineshaft over a Rahi mare, that certainly says distance to me. It also says a little bit of dirt to me, but Mineshaft Blues has worked on turf several times, has that experience. They must like what they see. There's a good formulator fact for trainer Phil Gleaves. Over the past 90 days, he's run 2 juvenile first-time starters in maiden special weight turf sprints. Both have won. The ROI is over $63. Both of those horses are going to run in the Skidmore on Friday. Mineshaft Blue is going to look to make it 3 for 3 and should improve on that healthy ROI if she is able to score first time out. Okay. We complete the Saratoga Thursday card. Of course, the pick 6 will be the final leg. You're betting blind. No paddock observations, no looking at the tote board. Who's it going to be? I definitely think this is a race where people are going to want to spread if they're playing those multi-race wagers, including the pick 6 concluding here. And it's a good place to take a shot. As we said, Mike's Girl certainly figures here, but not going to want to get too excited about that one at a short price. Doc's Way, I think there must be a reason that they're shipping all the way in. And like I said, I can't ignore that they're getting Ortiz on debut. And I am going to look at the first-time starter Espresso Shot. I think he's got a really strong work tab.
Well, Steve Christ was known as the king of the pick six. Maybe he blows it up with his horse, the 10 Mineshaft Blues, a first-time starter. Again, she's kind of bred to go long. I agree with you that this is a spread race. I would take a short stab with her to win. I would also use the 7 Mike's Girl and the 1 Andarta. They're very, very logical. Keep an eye on Espresso Shot's workmate, Perfect Pitch, who's running on Wednesday. If she runs well, I might want to upgrade her chances in the finale on Thursday. It's the Spa Baby Race of the Day, presented by Spendthrift.